Now by Congressman from the state of Maryland, Elijah Cummings. Congressman, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Good morning.
Good morning, Congressman.
Let's start with the big pressing news of the day. Baltimore Ravens, Denver Broncos this weekend. From your Baltimore Ravens, how are they going to do against the Broncos?
I think it's going to be a very close game, and I want to say the Ravens, but I'm telling you, with Manning being as good as he is, I think it's going to be very difficult, and we're not in our stadium, so it all depends on who shows up. Sometimes Flacco can be a little bit off, but I'm praying that it'll be the Ravens, but if I had to put some money on it, I'd say Denver.
Yeah, Manning's looked really good this season, and I'm not sure anybody really expected him to play as well as he did, and he seems to have the Ravens' number, if history is any indication.
And I'm really happy for him because, when he left Indianapolis, I was really kind of concerned. And he had given so much to Indianapolis, and we knew how he parted. But it was a good party. But I'm just so happy for him. I really am.
Well, let's get to another big issue of the day, and that is AIG. The shareholders of AIG, as ungrateful as they are pushing forward a lawsuit against the government for bailing them out, and they say that they lost money because of it. Now, AIG decided not to redefine the word chutzpah, and they declined to join that lawsuit yesterday. But what does this mean for America, and what does it mean for companies that we used to call too big to fail?
Well, what it means is, first of all, AIG all along showed a total disrespect for the American taxpayer. Keep in mind that they came basically begging for the United States government to rescue them. We loaned them $182 billion, and the only choice that they had was to go into bankruptcy. And if they had gone into bankruptcy, the same shareholders who were considering suing the government would have been left with stock that would not be worth a dime. But I think basically what this says is that we've got to more effectively address too big to fail. We made some giant steps, I think, in Dodd-Frank, but we've got to do even better.
Congressman, let me ask you this. We loaned them $182 billion. Did we get our money back, and did we get interest on that money?
Oh, yeah, we got our money back, and we got about $22 billion. So we did very good. One of their complaints was that the interest rate was too high. I think it was a little bit over 14%. And they were upset that we charged them too much. But this is what they agreed to.
Yeah.
And when you're sinking and, you're about to drown and somebody throws you a rope and they pull you up and get you out, you don't say, well, hey, I didn't like the color of the rope, so I'm going to sue you. And that's basically what this amounts to.
Unbelievable that they could do this. So this lawsuit, even without AIG's current board in support of it, this lawsuit, if a judge allows it, could still go forward, correct?
That is right. That is correct. Greenberg, who used to run that for many years, he's got a $25 billion lawsuit out there now. One jurisdiction has dismissed it. The other one has not. And so it's still floating out there. It's still out there. And so I'm telling you, it has to leave a very sour taste in the taxpayers' mouths because, I'm this morning, as a matter of fact, I'm on my way to our Consumer Protection Bureau here in Baltimore. And one of the things they're going to be talking about are new rules to help people make sure that they don't get into these risky loans. Well, when I think about my constituents, the thousands upon thousands of them who have lost their homes, lost money in their stock portfolios, they've gotten really bad during this last 4 or 5 years. So the idea that they saved AIG, and AIG turned around and even imagined suing them, it's just a great insult.
It's truly amazing. The story is truly amazing, and I don't know how in the world we can let them get away with this. But it also, again, like you said, we need to really look at what the definition of too big to fail means in this country. I want to talk.
One of the things I've noticed is that there are a group of folks on Wall Street and other places who have a whole different idea of what day-to-day life in America is. I mean, they seem like they, it reminds me of Romney's statement about the 47%. That, there's certain people that are very privileged, and the rest of us, we're just out there depending upon the government. And it's just incredibly wrong.
Let's turn our attention to the debt ceiling. We are approaching the debt ceiling, and we saw just how well we could all work together with getting a fiscal cliff deal done, Congressman. How do you anticipate this playing out?
Well, I'll tell you, I think that the Republicans are going to, and they've already made it clear that they're going to threaten and continue to threaten to not raise the debt ceiling. But I gotta tell you, I just cannot imagine the business community allowing the Republicans to do that. I just don't. And I think that eventually they're going to have to sit down. And let me go back. One of the reasons why I say that is because if they refuse to pay the debts that we've already made, as you well know, it could bring the economy down in this country and hurt the world economy. I just don't see them. I just can't imagine them doing that. I know we've got some Tea Partiers who are very, very, very conservative, but I don't see that happening. So I believe that at some point there will be a come to Jesus moment where all parties will sit down, work this thing out. I think we'll probably have to go back and look at the tax code, look for loopholes so that we can get some more revenue. I do not want to see us meddling with earned benefits such as Social Security. I just don't want to see that. I don't want to see us raising the age on Medicare.
Congressman, if it comes, and it's Bill Press here with a scratchy voice, but if it comes down to where the Republicans say the only way we'll raise the debt ceiling is if we get the cuts we want in Social Security and Medicare, which, as you just pointed out, they're going to come back with that. Do you think the president would have the authority under the 14th Amendment to raise the debt ceiling on his own without waiting for Congress?
Yes, I do believe he has that authority, but unfortunately the president has made it clear he will not use the authority, and I don't know whether he really believes he has it. So he made that clear he's not going to do it.
Yeah, too bad. It would be nice to see him issue that threat.
Congressman, I want to ask you about a topic that's been gaining a lot of traction here in recent weeks.
One way to solve the debt ceiling problem.
One way to solve the debt ceiling problem is for the president to or the